And there's the countdown. It is going to be 6 Jacks ViBe versus Fnatic MSI Fenix in this game number 1. Best of 3 number 1, day number 1, and you, Greetorp,
are number 1.
Yes! Yes, you are!
Wow, you make me feel like a kite.
Flying so high?
Yeah, flying so high.
Why? Are you high? Flying?
What? Fenix from Fnatic MSI and 6 Jacks ViBe. They're going to be duking it out. Starting map is going to be Zelnaga Caverns. And I'm so excited for this because TVZ on this map, it's pretty interesting. I mean, because of the limited number of bases, and I say limited, there's 5 for each of the sides, but we don't normally see 5 bases for both these players unless it goes to really, really far end game. The big thing is that we see a lot of aggression going on throughout the entire game just because it's so hard to capture the, let's say, the 4th and 5th base. Even the gold expansion, there's like a 270-degree arc to defend that. So it can be very frustrating to hold any sort of base, especially with the Terran out there.
So we're going to play a game for today's cast.
Okay.
Every time you say the word scaling, you have to say it in Nicolas Cage's voice.
Scaling.
That's it.
Scaling.
Can't miss it.
Okay.
All right. Not everything.
All right.
Just that.
I should do a complete cast. Nicolas Cage.
It'd have to be a solo cast. I would lose it the whole time. I'd have to mute my mic. Overlord scouting right down the smack dab in the middle of the map. One of the dangers of this Overlord, do you think it's just going to park in its middle?
The second one might. I don't think the first one will. The first one always goes towards the Terran base. They have to. Okay.
Yeah, but you just can't get to this this area below the ramp, I suppose, is what I'm talking about. Ooh, a little bit of a block. I like that. A lot of Zergs would try to hatch first here. Engineering Bay, relatively inexpensive, also has a lot of upstart health. Now, I did take a lot of health off on this SCV, though, and I believe the 2 drones should be more than adequate in taking down.
One more hit. One more. No, 2 more hits, sorry.
He can't do any more. He can't add any more health to Engineering Bay.
He
didn't cancel it.
He didn't cancel
He did not.
That is not good.
A little bit of mistake.
That's a lot of bit of mistake. Losing 125 minerals? Yeah, that's not good.
125, right?
125. It's not good. But we can see the delay. I'm not sure it's worth 125 minerals. I would have said it's worth the 37 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That it takes to make that. Maybe a little less. I don't think it's 37.
What do you think of the Reaper these days? I mean, this is something we haven't talked about just yet in TVZ. Obviously, it's like a scouting function. It's not the days of old where you just piled this on and got worse and worse. But is this scout necessary? Does it do a lot of this section of the game? Can it do some damage? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think the Reaper is good, but it needs to be in conjunction with an SCV building a bunker.
Okay.
And this is why. When you place a bunker, it says you have to attack.
Yes.
But if you have a Reaper just floating around, they don't have to do anything. It doesn't threaten anything. Okay, you can shell out damage on the hatchery over here, but really it just does not do enough damage, or it isn't threatening enough. So this Reaper, we're gonna see it just scouting out the area. It won't be able to kill this hatchery, but look, if we put down a bunker right here, it would say, oh, I need a lot of Zerglings.
Right.
And on top of that, I can't just wait for, let's say, a queen to come out. And
now,
actually,
this Reaper is potentially very important. There is a Roach Warren already down. Now, he is already making roaches, so he probably wants to get this Reaper out of here, unless those are very defensive roaches, which would be interesting, because Fenix does love those Hellion openings, which it looks like he's kind of leaning towards. So you wouldn't necessarily need to be aggressive with the roaches. They could just be to deflect the Hellions. Yeah. And if he is going to do that, I feel like you don't want to get a Spine Crawler. Am I correct in that assumption?
Correct. Correct. You want your roaches to just scale.
Well played.
With the Reapers, and make sure that they can't do any sort of damage, but otherwise, I mean, a Spine Crawler would be quite a waste of money.
Yeah. So, the Reaper's just kind of cruising around. It did see the Roach. Now, does Fenix overreact? I think no. He does have a Tech Lab still on. that barracks so you can get Marauders out. He should feel fairly safe here. Factory with the Tech Lab add-on on there. Now, there is no upgrade going down on that Tech Lab, and it was in Hellions. Oh, okay, he's just going to swap Aru and get the Starport on there. I feel like this will turn into a Banshee transition.
Yes.
And probably just map control. He does have enough gas saved up to get that cloak out there, so it'll be interesting to see if he does opt for that. And there's the Banshee. Closing on 200 gas. Let's see if he does any Banshee cloak. He has no minerals for it now, so not going to hold my voice for that long. A couple of barracks going down, so he's going to just transition probably into the regular composition of Marine tank. But I really do like this Banshee. There are no mutas at this time. There is no Hydra Rush. No Zerg does that. So the Banshee gives you control of the towers. It always will kill a few drones. A couple of roaches causing a ruckus outside the ramp.
Yeah, I like the Banshee. I mean, we already saw him ViBe switch to a Roach tech, and now he's going to have to switch to be careful about some sort of Banshee play. Of course, you have to get Overseers out, just in case the cloak is up.
Yes.
So it will incur a good reaction from ViBe. It's causing a constant switch. If you can get in here before this lair finishes, it might potentially delay the Spire tech. And the Spire tech was indicative of, we can see 4 gas already, so that is...
Or Infestor.
Oh, there you go. Spire tech is going down.
Oh, it is a Spire?
Yeah.
Interesting. And that's, I mean, if you do research on ViBe and kind of make a read on what he likes to do, you think Ling Infestor is quite famous for that, and he loves the Nidus Swarm later in the game. I mean, look no further than the TLO series. We do see that Banshee getting in herself. 5 kills already. That was quick. A lot of that being drones, too. Now, she does have only 23 health, so she'll just return, repair, and then get back on the field and kind of rain terror down again. And look at this reaction. That's exactly what you're talking about. Spore Colony goes down in both mineral lines. I'm sure there's an Overseer somewhere, or maybe just the Spore Colonies. But even the Spore Colonies alone, that's 2 drones down and the cost of the Spore Crawlers as well. Or I keep calling them Colonies, but it's Crawler. So quite expensive for just the cost of a unit that then goes ahead and kills things. Look at that, just added a roach to the racket, if you will. And a Viking flying around. I actually like this Viking. It gives map control, again, to a certain extent. It takes a Queen to repel it or the Spire tech. Now, if he doesn't opt for the Spire, this Viking has a lot more value. But even with the Spire, it's able to spot out, oh, you went mutas. Crap.
Yeah. And that's the best part about going there in this beginning stage. You get really good scouts, and it's still pretty cost efficient. I mean, five drones or 6 drones is enough to be completely even with your opponent. I think that's enough. Of course, including the Spore Crawlers in there as well. So that's 8 drones. That's a pretty good exchange for 1 Banshee not getting cloak research. Now this Viking is doing some pretty good damage. But as we speak, mutas are on the way out, so it's going to end that pressure quite a bit.
ViBe's already in trouble. Retorb. No Bailing Nest. He's going Infestation Pit, which is great, but that takes time too.
Yeah.
The Infestor doesn't spawn with the ability to fungal. It needs that upgrade in order to do that. And even as Muta's taking some damage here as well, I'm really worried. I think Fnatic Fenix just pushes here and wins. For one of the more uneventful TVZs I think I've ever seen.
Well, I'm not sure just yet. If there's another reproduction round, he might be okay. It is a little tricky though, as I think this push for Fenix isn't really to end the game. Although it could be.
He's playing it kind of weird though.
Yeah.
He like did a
well, he doesn't want to go on the creep. That's the scariest part, and I don't know. Does he have?
But
energy?
parking in the middle of the map is really weird to me. Like, you got to be decisive about this, in my opinion.
Yes.
You know the Zerg's making units right now.
Oh, he doesn't have siege. That's why.
Well, then pull back, in my opinion,
Yes,
and make another push
I
out.
agree.
But okay, see, that was really weird to me. Like, he just waited a little while longer. No scans ahead. The pathogen glands are almost complete for the infestors. There's 3 infestors now at 50%. And here we go. Ling's pushing forward, and Muta's, a bit of indecision out of ViBe, and he pulls back after taking some damage. 1 Spine Crawler to Siege. Zerglings do pull forward again with the indecision, and every time he does that, those tanks punish them badly.
Yeah, he has to make a move or not go at all. This is the worst thing. He might as well not even get reinforcements because he's just doing the same exact thing. Finally, he gets in here. Pathogen Glands is upgraded. However, it looks like ViBe just does not have anything. And the lair is being fired and it will go down.
This is
that's basically all.
Really lackluster out of ViBe. He's just kind of fluttering around taking damage. His army's not getting stronger. We have 16 lings about to come. There's the GG. Oh, well. How do we make that interesting?
I mean, I don't know what ViBe was doing. The Infestor tech was... He didn't scale well at all.
Oh, okay, I'm going to have to be a little bit critical. What does ViBe hope to hold off? Tank Marine is probably the most predictable basic composition. The timing wasn't even weird. It was after a fast expansion. It was after a Banshee, after a Viking. It was quite delayed. People can point to the Banshee and the Viking and say, well, that's what threw him off. He thought it was Cloak Banshee. Yeah, to a certain extent, but it's on the Zerg to find out.
Yep.
Get that Overlord in there. If there's no Cloak going down for a chunk of time, why? I mean, he had 3 Queens. Make an Overseer. That's the more inexpensive response to a Cloaked Banshee. Throwing down 2 Spore Colonies for a single Banshee that you see, I think that's problematic, especially when you're already sitting on 3 Queens, which stagnates a lot of your tech. Also, it really needs to be said that I feel Zergs should have the Baneling Nest as like a standard. It's the option to deflect bio with the risk of winning the game.
Yeah.
Like, there is no... I mean, it slows down your mutas a little bit, so I know in talks with Idra and Machine that they'll tell me, actually, sometimes they offer mutas then Baneling, and they know they're taking a bit of a risk. They know that they're doing that in exchange for the more effective mutas at the risk of the need for the Banelings.
Do keep in mind as well that Infestor play was kind of out of place, I thought. You have put so much time in developing your heir, which is namely the Mutalisks, and you know, he half committed to the mutas. And when you do that, you don't have strong heir, so you don't have a really strong force. And then you're doing this really risky play, which mutas are supposed to give you space, but if you have no mutas, you have no space.
What does 9 mutas hold back, you know?
It wasn't even, I don't think. Was it 9 mutas?
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. It was something like that.
I think it was less than that even.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to give you space. And if he's not giving you space, what good are Infestors? So if they're at your doorstep, the Infestor's just not efficient at all. And ultimately, ViBe just lost that game. I think it was because of all the reasons we just talked about.
And it sucks, too, because like Fenix didn't even do a particularly amazing push.
No.
He forgot Siege.
Yeah.
He literally goes on the creep around the circle onto the other tower and then pauses for like 30 seconds, which is not a good idea. That was not a good, like, there's no strategy guide that you read where they're like, okay, what you do is you move in to clear vision, now go away, and then sit. Wait until you actually remember to upgrade that one thing, and then go attack, and then win the game. Like, there's no strategy guide that says that. So, you know, okay, that's it. We're critical. Game 1 was a little bit sloppy, didn't do it very well. Game number 2, ViBe knows that. I mean, that's the other thing. He's a competitor. He did very well at MLG. He's done very well on everything he's entered. He's been in and around the tops of the North American ladder since the beta. He knows what it takes to win. I'm looking to him to respond to this on Shattered Temple and to come back playing much, much stronger.
Yeah. I hope we see that. So let's go ahead and get into game number 2 after this short break.
All right, there's the countdown. It's going to be game number 2 in this best of 3 with Fnatic MSI Fenix leading 1-0. This is division number 1, week number 3. Fenix is sitting at 2-0, escaping the clutches of Grubby Grubby. Six Jacks ViBe, on the other hand, is at 0-2. So we really do need to see, I mean, we can no longer say, well, it's just week 1 and 2. Week 3, we're starting to get into the middle area of this tournament. And if you go into that winless, it becomes time to start counting yourself out of contention. Now you're just going to try to be the disappointer, if you will, knocking people out that are trying to contend. So we're not quite there yet. And it is just a best of 3. We have seen a lot of people go up 1-0, then fall 1-2. It's not impossible, Vitor.
No, and I mean, ViBe did start off game 1 a little bit rocky, but I still have faith in this guy. I mean, I've seen him play firsthand. You've seen him play firsthand. And we both know he has the skills, and he has what it takes to play with the top-tier player, be one of those powerhouse players. And I'm really looking for that this game. I hope he can pull it through, and now we can see ViBe knows, hey, we're in close air positions. So there might be a little bit of a build difference going into the game, but we'll see. I would love to see the fast mutas again.
Yeah.
However, I would love him also to stick with it.
Yeah, stick with it, or maybe light support the Baneling Nest or something. Just not kind of everything. I felt like that really mediocrized his composition and didn't allow him to have the number of units necessary at all to handle that push. And again, I don't think we can give Fnatic Fenix all this credit. Be like, oh, it was just such an amazing push. It was okay. It was pretty good. But
Yeah.
I still retain my vision. Don't need sunglasses. Didn't go blind. Could be better. But Shattered Temple, close air positions. We talked about wanting to see mutas. Obviously, that's the gut check. Okay, that would be awesome type of thing. What do you think? I mean, where does this game go beyond that? I noticed both the players do have the island expansions kind of readily available to them.
Yeah.
I feel like the Zerg can expand away from the Terran, which is really good for the Zerg.
Yeah.
Expand to that 12 o'clock location is far and away better for the Zerg than it is necessarily for the Terran. Because Zerg should be the more mobile race.
Well, the big thing is Zerg needs to hold their 4th and 5th base, and I think that poses the toughest problem. So you're going to see a lot of activity actually on the right-hand side if this game digresses into late game, because it's a fight for if Zerg can keep their bases and if they can deny Terran's bases. I mean, we saw that dynamic work out with Rainbow and Chef, for instance, where we saw that exact dynamic happen. Rainbow was constantly just trying to expand, and all he had to do was defend, whereas Chef, he was the guy that just said, okay, I'm going to try to keep denying you. Because you never want Terran to get a ton of bases. Now we can see a little bit, actually some
pulls
good
back with 1 health.
Yeah.
Oh my god, does the other guy have 1 health as well? Wow.
But all these drones are pretty badly damaged. It looks like, yes, another drone and a 3rd drone will die.
Oh.
Looks like a 4th drone. Wow, this is not working out for ViBe in this beginning stage.
No, it's just well worth the cost of just a few Marines. Especially with that wall developing and now Hellions coming out. I feel like Fenix can actually count this as a total victory.
Yeah, that is...
Oh my gosh, and they just killed 2 lanes on top of it.
As it's...
and a drone.
5
that?
5 drones, sir.
5 drones dead for what, 3 Marines?
Yes.
3 Marines and an SCV?
No bueno.
Okay.
No bueno.
Fenix has got to be feeling so confident. That first game, couldn't ask for an easier game. Game number 2 starting to shape up the same way. Hellion now on the field. So, bit of a sloppy Hellion. It just kind of paused there. Like, I just flamed all those guys. I feel so terrible. Now he's pulling away, utilizing the run and gun of that Hellion.
Flame
and these Zerglings are in trouble. Well played, sir. Fuck. Torch, you live forever in my dreams. Both these Hellions now making their way to a relatively undefended mineral line. They're going to go for some more drones. One does get barbecued just a little bit. His eyebrows singed. Both Hellions taking some damage. Now the Queen should be able to repel this. Not a huge presence of the Hellions. They are not getting the blue flame upgrade, but here's the big problem. Banshee already on the way. No cloak again, but even just the solo Banshee can take on the Queen.
Oh my, he runs past into the base of ViBe. ViBe is not looking good in this game either. So now he's going to have to defend against Hellions inside his base. He needs more Zerglings. He's getting his Queens in here. But again, losing more drones, that's just delaying more and more tech. It's so hard for him. You don't even see a lair coming up anytime soon. Is a lair? Nope, no lair. So, I don't know, man. ViBe not looking good in the second game.
He's just getting slowed down. Look at his money. It's even skyrocketed to 650 minerals unspent. His gas as well, hovering around 200. He really should have started the lair or something. He's got to be using his resources. In fact, he's just stuck with the 1 drone on the assimilator. Banshee has made her way in here. Unfortunately, she just got distracted by the spawning pool. 1 drone does go down and is now hunting a second one. Ling's coming out as well. And I feel like they're just in response to the Hellions. Yeah, I mean, this is ugly. Banshee takes down a couple of drones and is going to make her way out of here. Lair just now started the natural, but the Terran command center is about to complete its transformation or morphing. Actually, it's kind of a silly word for it to do that. It's transformation. Yeah, I like that. They transform. Yeah, into an orbital command. And again with the spore colonies, spore crawlers rather, going down the mineral lines. I feel like that. Well, okay, he's a long ways away from the lair, so he can't take the risk this time around. Yeah. But it's almost like the unfortunate cost to his build in general, just kind of how he was delayed. Creep tumor goes down as well to add insult to injury. Both these Banshees, well, actually, they don't have that many kills, only 3 total. But really, it's the delay tactic that they're doing. It's the cost that they're incurring. The Spore Crawlers, the additional Queens.
Yep. I mean, if we look at the income tab, 31 Harvesters, 32 now to 30. And Fenix isn't too far behind just in raw value of his SCVs. Added with the mules, he's looking perfect.
Oh my gosh, kill another creep tumor. And that hurts. Like, let's, I mean, a third Banshee. Uh-oh. Could be bum rushing, but one's actually low in health. It's only got 8 life left, and it does go down. Spore Crawler working on the other one is, Phoenix gotta be careful. He does have a lead, but Banshees are expensive if you lose these, and they don't have a lot of kills. I mean, yes, they killed a couple of creep tumors, and that does hurt. But other than that, there's only the one Banshee with 4 kills, and I think the other one had like 1. So it's not like they're just swimming in the dead bodies of Zerg. He's got to be careful here. Now here comes this push from Fenix, starting to take shape. Again, Marine tank. Where does ViBe get the units to counter this?
Yeah, ViBe's in a pretty precarious situation. He's just too much on the defensive, I think. He doesn't have the ability to take the initiative. We can see that all of his creep tumors have been placed inside of his base, which is great, don't get me wrong, right. But there's no activity on the map. And we have no activity on the map. 1, you can't see anything coming, and 2, defending against pushes becomes increasingly harder. You don't even have the Zergling Baneling composition that you need to take a third, let's say, and it becomes just so problematic. ViBe really is caught on the back foot in this game.
Now here comes Fenix with, again, that fairly quick push. Centrifugal hooks are about to finish for the Zerg, and I feel like that will give him more than enough to counter this if he has the patience. Yeah. If he flaunts those Zerglings just a little bit too much, and here comes that push, and he's on the creep again. He's got to be careful.
And he doesn't have siege mode again.
Oh, man. Okay, well, siege mode's about to finish. There's just seconds off.
Oh, and the siege tanks!
But that's kind of a waste of the Zerglings, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's the Marines they want to counter.
That's not what he wants.
Who cares about the 2 tanks?
Exactly. Right? He has no Banelings out. He's not even making anything.
He's making none.
He needs to make Banelings.
He's making none. Oh, there they are, and that was it. And that was seconds before the speed upgrade finished. That's it. ViBe's dead.
Yeah.
Game over, man. Game over.
Fenix moving in here, targeting the lair yet again. And it looks like this lair will go down. Yes, it does.
Just like the one before.
Yes, it does.
Minus muted.
And ViBe, it just looks like he cannot keep up with Fenix. He's trying to morph a couple token Banelings, but it will not go down. It will not. At all.
Wow. I'm trying to save you. I know that you don't want to solo cast this, but
yeah.
I'm a little froze right now. We're just watching. Like, he's making 2 Milos now. There's the GG. 0-2. And I'll tell you what. Normally, I would work as hard as I can to explain that, okay, bad luck, bad map positioning, something. I got nothing, guys. Fnatic Fenix is apparently a class above 6jax5. He had 3 weeks, or at least a week, to prepare for Fnatic Fenix. Knew the maps ahead of time, and was just. I felt like he was nowhere near Fenix's level. And the scary thing is not to belabor this point, but I don't think Fnatic Fenix is famous for his team.